Whoa, back again. Holy cow. It's been another week. Hopefully my voice is coming back from this morning. That was pretty rough. Hey, how is everyone doing? Why don't we bring the chat up in here? That's great. Bringing the chat in. Who is that? Who is that? Let's pull that back. I need to get the chat in front of me. It's another frantic Friday. Big Alice with the new membership. Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Welcome everybody in here that's come out. What a crazy hectic week it has been this week. Holy cow. Lots of great things have been happening, and not great things, but we're gonna get into some of the good ones and some of the news ones. Lots of different things. I wonder if they still do police checks on teachers. That would be interesting to find out. You would really hope that you would be bondable, or bonded, I guess you would call that. Hello, Chat and Clyde. Hello, Ragman. Welcome to the chat. For those that are new and have never seen one of these are the live streams. This is the live stream content. If you're watching this after the fact, there's a lot of interactivity and fun stuff that you can do in these live streams. I do them every Friday night at 9:30 Eastern time. That's 6:30 on the West Coast. And yeah, it's a great time to have time with the community and anybody who wants to come out and join and be part of the community here. Tammy Jubenville, I hope I pronounced that, Tammy Jubenville with the membership. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I've been working really hard behind the scenes as well to try to bring more stuff for the members of the channel, and working on that. I'm trying to bring along this book club thing. If you're interested in that, become a member. We're gonna get that going. I think at the end of we'll pick a time of the month. We'll let the community decide this one, but pick a time of the month. We'll do an extra live stream, and that live stream will be the book club. We'll go over a book, and maybe I'll have guests. I haven't really worked out the plan, but I want to do this as a exclusive thing for the members of the channel. And of course, the Discord. If you're a Discord user, by the way, link in the description down below for the Discord server. But if you are a Discord user, you can tie your YouTube account with your Discord account, and then any memberships that you have, you can get perks for those memberships in Discord servers. So I'm trying to set some stuff up, and we're gonna be revamping this server. We're gonna be moving some stuff around. There's gonna be a whole side just for members of the channel, and that will be fun. We're gonna make some exclusive perks and a bunch of other stuff for that. Trish Prue with the super chat, $10. Thank you so very much. As Pink Floyd sings, "Hey teacher, leave those kids alone." Yes, that should be the like the theme song of this whole movement here. I really would appreciate that. And I appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much. Chippy's Outdoors with gifting 10 memberships to the channel. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Chippy's Outdoors, everybody who got a new membership, get in there in the chat and thank him so much. That is incredible. That is such a big gift to the community. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Jason Abbey with the $10 super chat. I'm here. Hello everyone in chat. hello Jason, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. HP Lovecraft with a $5 super chat. Cheers, Clyde, fan of the channel, and I appreciate the good work you do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything, not just the super chats, but coming out, watching the videos, sharing the videos, being interactive with the community. I think this is fantastic, and this is why it's been growing by leaps and bounds. I think it's amazing how responsive everybody is in this whole community. It's fantastic. So many people came out to the Vancouver one. I mean, many people went to all the different locations for the march for children, the Million March for Children, and I was recognized so many times I couldn't believe it. And people, it was so friendly. It was so friendly. If you do see me out in public or whatever, stop me, say hi. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I know some people might feel nervous about me being bothered by that. I don't. I love it. I love it. You guys are all fantastic people, each and every one of you. Chippy's Outdoors with a $10 super chat. Let's get honor, folks. What is that? Is that? Oh no, that's the Spider-Man. My son's really into Spider-Man right now, so he's been doing that all kinds. how do I pronounce that? Demogaran Ramsey with a $15 super chat. Thank you so much, so very much. If Trudeau says homophobia, transphobia, or biphobia, whatever that is, does it mean that he will resign and go away? Because I have dumbassophobia and groomerphobia. Yeah, I think that would be a good incentive to get him packing. G-Meister, member for 15 months, says, good evening, all. Happy Friday. What a week. Hands off our kids. Hit the damn like button. Hit it. Hit it. Get on in there. Hit it. There's 369 of you in that chat right now. There's 125 likes. Get on in there. Hit that like button. It helps, and it's free. It's absolutely free. Yeah, G-Meister, 15 months. That's fantastic. Amazing. Thank you so much. Holy cow, I'm trying to keep up with all of this. Jason Abbey with a $10 super chat. Go, girl. Press the button by the chat line that has the money symbol to get a membership. There you go. It says join. It says join on there, and then you can become a member of the channel. And hopefully we'll get more of that stuff rolling. I've been working on the merch store. The merch store has been really confusing for me. I'm not a merchant, so I'm figuring this stuff out. And I appreciate everybody that's been buying the merch and all that stuff. That's fantastic. So really appreciate that. I'm going to put that money to use, and it's great because you guys get something out of it. You get a shirt or a hat or a mug or the hoodie, of course, the zip up hoodie. It took me a while to find stuff that was quality items, so definitely hit that up if that's what you're interested in. Kyle Rogers, thank you for your membership. I really appreciate that, getting in there. I'm not missing anything, am I? I'm not missing anything. No, thank you so much. Big Dicing, interviewed by Clyde. You need to know Canada cool. I need to know Canada, or I need to know. Oh, hold on. Or interviewed by Canada, you need to know Canada cool. Okay. Yeah. Somebody needs to send me a link to that. Get in the Discord and let me know about that, please. That would be great. Yeah, I'm all mixed up. Holy cow, what a you're a natural at this. I appreciate it. Every time I do one of these live streams, though, I feel like, oh my goodness, I'm rushing to get into it. I just did a video, I put it out, and then I'm like, I got to get the thumbnail going. I got to get all this stuff happening and get in there and make sure that I'm going so people aren't waiting any length of time at all. Kyle Rogers with a $2 super chat. I told Arpan Kana office about your video. Where's Arpan Kana from? What office is that? I'd like to know that. I'm gonna actually search that up right now. Arpan Kana office. Let's search that up. Who is Arpan Kana? Canadian politician who was elected in Canada House of Commons, represents Oxford. And there's his LinkedIn and his Facebook, all that stuff. Okay, cool. Arpan Kana, elected MP in Oxford, CTV News, London. I always love to hear this stuff. Conservative leader Arpan Kana. There's another event coming up, actually, this week for anybody who's in the Vancouver area. Neil from the Hill. I know that name. Neil, how you doing? With a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. WRT merch, bro. Get some patches for the bikers. Just your logo. Okay. I've been trying to do the patches thing. I can't find anyone who makes patches, and I don't do all the handling of this stuff. So I put it through a company that will take the orders and then fulfill the orders and then run that through. Because if I had that on top of the making the videos and all these other things, it would be a lot of work. So I'm definitely trying. So getting those patches for bikers, I didn't even think of that. Holy cow. All these things I didn't even think of. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Kira Kristen with a $5 super chat. OFL unions alongside CAHN, that's the anti-hate network, funding and organizing counter protests against concerned Canadian parents is Marxism. They were the hatred, or they were the hatred. Yes, that's absolutely right. Ban the Canadian Action, or the Canadian Anti-Hate Network. So we went over this when Kareem Assad came on the channel, and then also we're going to be going over that tonight, because Rob Primo, who's a very, very shadow banned individual on Twitter right now, is going to be coming on the channel tonight, and we're going to be talking about some of the stuff that he found out about these unions and what they've been organizing. Kyle Rogers with another $2 super chat. He was Pierre's right-hand man during the run. Oh, awesome. So you told him you told him about the channel. I think Pierre knows who I am. I think the video that Viva Fry and I did this morning may have had a bit of influence in pushing him into actually making a public statement about this thing. And we're gonna go along that again. If that bores you, sorry, but I want to talk about this because I think it's a very important issue, and I really think that the Conservatives ignoring this or telling their MPs to not talk about it because it may make them look bad, and the media might say bad stuff about them. Guess what? They're saying bad stuff about you anyway. They're not going to say good stuff regardless. So you might as well just get over the fact that they're going to say bad stuff and get behind good people, good Canadians that are out there to protect their children. Come on. And you don't have to get into the rhetoric. You can just get out there and say, you know what? This is a lie, what they're saying about these parents. They're not bigots. And if you go there, it's a very strange looking crowd for a bunch of bigots, if you know what I mean. There was a lot of absolute diversity in the crowd. I went to Vancouver. I saw what it looked like. I've seen footage from all over Canada. 70 some odd cities participated in this. That's humongous. They were trying to downplay it. No joke. When I saw the crews out, it was at 11 o'clock in Vancouver. 11 o'clock. The crews came out to witness the Antifa people coming in to agitate about 12 people that were sitting there waiting for the event to take place. That was scheduled for 1 o'clock. Like, this is the thing. The media. Holy cow. I saw you on Lauren Southern's live stream. Yes, I was going to get into that. We're going to get into that. And also, Lauren will be on next week on the live stream here on this channel. So everybody, you can have that to look forward to as well next week. So that will be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to it. I have a lot of respect for Lauren. I have a lot of respect for the work she's been doing, and just how candid she can be with her audience. I think tremendous respect due to Lauren for her brutal honesty, even in the face of being in situations where she's divulging some personal information in some of these cases. So huge respect for her, her integrity, and what she has been putting forward the whole time. So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to having her on the show next week. So you can all look forward to that. This will be a really fun live stream then, as well as tonight with Rob Primo. Rob Primo is going to be on the show later tonight. DJ with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Trudeau brings the Ukraine president here to distract the people from how much he has effed up the country. Yeah, absolutely. And I wasn't really going to report on that story, but what? We're giving away another $1 billion. Do we have another $1 billion to give away? This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable the amount of money they're just lighting on fire. And of course, Tim Pool recently came out and said that Ukraine's losing the war and a bunch of stuff. That's exploding. People saying all kinds of stuff. I don't know. I haven't been following. I've been following more closely the Canadian dilemma. There are a lot of channels that will tell you a lot about the Ukrainian dilemma. I'm not the one to chime in about that, really. And just to see Zelensky coming to Canada and all the politicians coming and doing their kowtowing, it doesn't appeal to me very much at all. Steve's Hyde, $5 super chat. Thank you so very much. It was a missed opportunity for Pierre to make a point about how bad the mainstream media is. Maybe he still can. I don't know if you caught the video, but he did make a statement. I'm going to go over it tonight in the live stream anyway. But I just did release a video about how he finally did. He finally came out 2 days later after all of that news cycle to go after parents. Go after parents that are just looking to have normalization back and not have to worry about their kids being exposed to predators. It's really, really crazy. Read what Colette stated. The Ontario Teachers Union is a bona fide member of the WEF. What? It's on their website. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. Somebody needs to send me a link to that. I'd like to see that. Matt Gates on Timcast last night was a great episode. If I have time, I'll have to go back and watch that. I do like Tim Pool. One of the things he was saying recently, he was talking about the Russell Brand situation. I was thinking about maybe even popping that in, because I think this is something that we need to address probably even tonight. And it has to do with monetization of channels. And some channels are suffering through some of this stuff too. So I know not like Russell Brand is, but friends of the channel, Northern Perspective, they're really having a hard time right now. Every once in a while, a YouTube channel get picked on by, I don't know if it's an algorithm or someone in the back end, but it's happened to me before, where you just get demonetization after demonetization, and you can't figure out why. And you try to do all the nice things. I even asked them to say, like, do a video called Puppies, Sunshine, and Rainbows, all the things I love. And don't say anything bad, but they did something similar to that, uploaded it, and it still got the yellow check mark. So these things are happening. These things are definitely happening. Ontario Teachers Pension Plan is run by run by the WEF. That's really interesting. Yes, Master Snatch in the chat, moderator for the channel. Great to see everyone. If anybody's causing a ruckus in the chat, let Snatch know. Master of Snatch, he is the moderator for this evening, and hopefully maybe we have some other moderators. Usually we have Anasty in there as well. She may pop in. It's the algorithm. Don't worry. I know. Yeah, that's the really hard one. And I know this from the perspective of a creator. So yeah, next time you're over at Northern Perspectives live stream, go give them a hand. Go give them a hand. Send over some super chats. It's very helpful to them. They're doing great work. They're doing fantastic work, and I can't big up them enough. I really can't. They're just fantastic. Redacted is awesome because they cover so much Canadian content. Yeah, that's true, and they don't need to. But they do. So very thankful that they do that. Gotta wet the whistle here. Holy cow. Oh boy. So let's go over some of this stuff. The Russell Brand situation. This was covered by Tim Pool. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna get to that first. Michael McLean with the $50 super chat. Hefty super chat. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. Holy cow. Clyde, glad to see your voice is okay for tonight. I'm very glad to see that too. The Victoria Kids March was canceled because of the trans mob. I was one of the 12 encircled by hundreds after 3 hours of standing our ground before Vic cops shut us down. Can we have interviews, please? Yes, I'd love to have interviews with people that are, yeah, absolutely. I have an interview with Gays for Groomer, Gays Against Groomers, and I could probably pop that on tonight. But there's a part of the video where he's showing explicit stuff in a kid's book, and it's not safe for YouTube, so it won't be safe for your kids. I mean, obviously. So yeah, it's very interesting. Hopefully we can get around to that in this live stream. I would appreciate that. I appreciate you so much, Michael McLean. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate that. Unacceptable Fringe, Derek with the hefty super chat. $100 super chat. Would you look at that? I'd rather send support over this way. Have a good stream. feel better. Will, thank you so much. Holy cow, that's amazing. But yeah, of course, support for everyone in the community. I absolutely throwing support every which way that I possibly can. And again, you guys are just amazing. Let's get into this. This is Tim Pool and his talking about Russell Brand and what's going down with that situation.
Government agenda to remove Russell Brand from polite conversation, to take away his livelihood and silence him. It's a fact. It is not a conspiracy theory. I will say it once more. It's proven. From the Post-Millennial, UK Parliament sends letters to social media platforms demanding demonetization of Russell Brand. We covered this last night on Timcast IRL, but we do have some new developments. Now Elon Musk is being targeted with activists, and yes, even political activists, and yes, government officials.
So what is the deal with Russell Brand? Now, obviously, Russell Brand, Rusty Rockets on Twitter. He's a big character. He's a character that has blown up. He's blown up. He's been around. He's been in the news circuit for ages. But he started a show a while back, a few years back, and it's been exploding and getting a lot of attention, and he's speaking truth to power. Now, they used to love him on the left because he is a lefty. He's a big time lefty, and it really comes out. And there's been disagreements that I've had with him when he wanted to blame Donald Trump's deregulation of the money markets. Or there was some deregulation that took place in the money markets in America under Donald Trump, and Russell Brand tried to blame Trump for that, and it didn't make sense because it was about risky investments, but the banks that were failing due to investments in government bonds. There weren't risky bets that they were taking. So I disagree with him on certain things. I agree with him completely on other things, and it was really, I think his sin was, because there's a lot of people on the left that have come over and changed their mind, red pill, whatever you want to call it. He hasn't done that. He's still very much on the left, and he's proving to people that people from the left and the right can get together and agree on things. And I think that's the real problem with his whole situation and what's going on with him. Eat Me, member for 1 month. You've been a member for a whole month. I have the WEF link about Ontario Teachers Plan. YouTube won't let me post it. Can you post it in the Discord? Eat Me. I've seen you in Discord. Post it in the Discord, and we'll try to pop it up on the screen. Neil from the Hill with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Neil. He is over the target, and now he has to go by the elite. Yes, he's over the target, and this is what I'm saying. So the true fact is, again, if the left and the right can come together and see things eye to eye, maybe you disagree on different things. Like, for example, I haven't had him on the show, but I've shown videos of Jimmy Dore where I completely agree with him. I disagree with him on a lot of the other stuff. He's very like on the socialist side of things, but of course we agree on a great number of things. But I think we would come more eye to eye when you start breaking down these barriers, and then when you have real dialogue, we find out who the real villains are in society. That's when we find out who the real bad guys are. And I'll tell you what, it's not your neighbors. It's not your neighbors, and it's not immigrants. It's all the things that usually we get pitted up against each other about. This is really this is the kind of guy that's bringing people together. And again, he doesn't have to be your taste, and he doesn't have to be all the things that you might agree with, but he definitely is reverberating in society, and people are listening to what he has to say, and he's making a lot of sense, and that's why he's got to go. And that's what they're doing.
Demanding Russell Brand be demonetized. Why? Has he been convicted of a crime? Has he violated any of the policies of these platforms? No. He was simply accused in I believe it was the Sunday Times. Several news articles have come out talking about impropriety, allegations of abuse and assault against Russell Brand, and that's just it. Allegations. But more
Allegations. So, I mean, he was a rock star in a previous life. I guess he's still kind of a rock star-ish guy. And he's probably got, he's probably a womanizer, all these other things. And that's it. Now, if he's committed a crime, then for sure, let him see trial for those crimes, all of that. But what's happening is people are canceling him from these platforms, removing his ability to make a dollar on allegations. And this is where things get wrong. This is where things go completely wrong. It's like that old thing. First they came for this group, and then they came for them, and I didn't do anything. And then they came for them, and I didn't do anything. That famous poem. First they came for Alex Jones, and a lot of us went, "Oh, he's a crazy. Why would you, And then they went for Judge Kavanaugh. You remember that case? The allegations against him. And so many people just kind of sit back and don't say anything about it. And now they're coming for Russell Brand. It's unreal. It's unreal. And the more and more they're able to get away with this kind of stuff, get together all these giant corporations to remove somebody fiscally from society, then yeah, this is going to be a big issue moving forward, and they're going to feel more and more comfortable to do this to more and more everyday people, not just like Russell Brand is not Alex Jones, for example. They came for Trump. Yeah, they came for Trump many times. Yeah, they feel absolutely comfortable about that. Eat Me with a $2 super chat. Link posted in general chat under Silver Storm. Okay, let me grab that from the general chat over in Discord. General chat. Hit the bottom of that. Here we go. This is the World Economic Forum. Yeah, let's reject cookies. Okay, whatever. Ontario pension plan. There you go. Ontario Teachers Pension Plan in the World Economic Forum website. Ontario Teachers Pension Plan is the largest single profession pension plan with what is that number? Really nice web design. These corporate types and people that want to rule the world, they can't even rule a website. This is the worst. Like, what are you formatting? Black text on multiple colors? What are you doing? Nathan Racine, $2. Don't forget Julian Assange. Yeah, Julian Assange. He was more than canceled. They're actually trying to extradite him and then lay charges on him. What I'm talking about in these cases is not even laying charges, canceling people because of improprieties that are just accusation only, accusation alone. The pension plan worth a lot of money that I can't read in net assets. It pays pensions and investment plan assets on behalf of 318,000 working and retired teachers since its establishment in independent organization in 1990. So yeah, are they associated with it, or are they actually just holding their money with the World Economic Forum? That is terrible. Articles from Ontario Teachers Pension Plan. Investors must travel at winding road to net zero. Here's oh goodness. Yeah, it's a winding road. It's a windy road. Holy cow. It's the road to serfdom is what it is. F.A. Hayek wrote about this years and years ago. But yeah, that's where we're going with this. Holy cow. Sorry, sidetracked a little bit. But yes, this whole thing, that page is accessed when you click on the link in the list of the WEF partners. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. Michael McLean with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Clyde. To be clear, I meant, could you and I have an interview where I could tell the story of Vic's Kids March on one of your broadcasts? I'd like to be a guest on your show if possible. How? Get in touch with me. Are you a member of the Discord? Yes or no? If not, you can go to the About page on the YouTube channel under Business Inquiries. you'll find my email address, and you can send me an email and title it Michael McLean interview, and I'll respond to that. Yeah, send that over, and let's get in touch. I want a pack of pack of darts for Christmas. What are you talking about? What are we talking about in the chat here? Unreal. So yeah, that's my take on the Russell Brand situation. It's absolutely. Why are we pressing one? Why is everybody pressing one? Press one if you think climate change is a scam. Okay, a lot of ones in the chat. That's a lot of ones for sure. Yeah, it's a big old thing to bring. It's about control, folks. Jason Abbey with a $10 super chat. I set aside $100 a month for you and Northern Perspective. Would you like me to send a bit more to them? Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Send a bit more to them. If you have to, cut mine in half and then give that other half to them. Because yeah, I've got nothing but good things to say to them about them. It's amazing, and like I said, they're doing such good work. I really appreciate that. I would like to hear that Michael McLean interview. Yes. I'm interested in this because I want to get the perspective of what happened at that one, because that was terrible. Now, here's the actual thing about these events. The concept is these people are complaining, saying that our side are fascists or whatever, right? Well, their complaint is that there's not enough democracy. There's backsliding of democracy. We don't want this democracy, or we want democracy. Yada yada. No room for hate speech. All this stuff. And what do? When you legally apply for a protest, set the date, set all the things, get all the stuff lined up, ready to go, they come in and they take your space, and then they intimidate you and push you out of the space. And they don't want dialogue. They don't want you to be able to say anything. Where's the democracy in that? Where's the town square where everybody can have their say? Democracy equals mob rule. It's funny. It was Benjamin Franklin that said, I'm paraphrasing here, but democracy is two wolves and a sheep discussing what's for breakfast. It's representative government. It's not all democratic. We don't democratically do everything. It's representative government. If it was majority rule, the cities would rule over all the rural areas, and we don't want that. Couldn't have that. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, absolutely. Craziness. So it was a lot of fun. I did get to go on Lauren Southern's podcast, as you guys, a lot of you saw that. It was a lot of fun. Jason Abbey with another one. Jason Abbey with another one. 100% with $5 super chat. Thank you. 100%. By the way, Fox made me 2 custom high-vis shirts, Northern Perspective. Now I only need a Clyde logo with channel name underneath. We'll try to make something happen. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that a ton. So this was the appearance on the Lauren Southern live stream. Read that kind of thing. I mean, children. Okay. Yeah, Robson from the other direction. Okay. Just walk around. The reason I want to show this is because I was talking about what happened at the protest with this other dude, which is, this media is lying about this stuff. So here's my account of the situation. Came with my wife and kids, and we're hoping for just like a happy, friendly family sort of thing. Yeah. And all these people. Well, there wasn't very many people at first, so there's a lot of people just kind of sitting around. So we're like, okay, we're gonna just walk around the street, and then we noticed the Black Bloc guys coming up, very loud, very vocal, came into the picture, shouting, and just immediately at the same time that they came in, there was a guy coming up Robson from the other direction, shouting words that I'd care not to say, but shouting
at the Black Bloc protesters, and it seemed very like the guy was agitating, trying to stir something up. I'm not sure exactly what was going on there, but so I got a little bit of footage of that. So I'll be showing that on the channel later.
Where can people follow your channel?
Oh, follow me, Clyde Do Something on YouTube.
Clyde Do Something.
Yeah, I do daily.
He covers a lot of Canadian news.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I do a daily show.
There's
Actually, I've been
Olia.
trying
I got to meet up with
you. I'd love to
Olia.
have you
I
on.
think that was great.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Are you going to be at the normal march with normal, well-adjusted people later?
Is there more people over on the other side?
Well,
Okay, anyway, so that was my account of this situation that occurred at the thing. And this was, you know, somebody agitating, and well, there's footage of this here. Now, Macy Dunbar, welcome to the community, and thank you so much for joining as a member. I emailed Canada. You need to know I'm positive he will contact you with the house footage of you. Okay, perfect. I can't wait to hear from that person for sure. Light Giver with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Tim Ballard from Sound of Freedom is being accused of SA by the Libs because he is running for a Senate seat. What? Get out of here. Of course. This, wow. Thank you so much, Light Giver. I appreciate that. Jason Abbey with another $5 super chat. I'm a walking advertisement for everything I like. 3 of my coworkers are in here right now. Hopefully more soon. They like my F Trudeau on my hard hat. That's awesome. That's really cool. That is really cool. Hey there, Susan. Hey, how are you? Okay, so this is what I put together. This is from that one incident that I was describing on Lauren's stream, which we're gonna talk about more because we want to get to the bottom of who that guy was, because I don't think he wasn't with anybody. He came in at the exact same time as the Antifa, Black Bloc, umbrella, the Penguins. I don't know what he called them. They got all these black umbrellas, but they came in at the same time and caused he caused a ruckus trying to start a fight with them. Luckily, it didn't break out and become more fight with more other people, because everybody there was just like trying to put an end to it. And you'll see that in the footage here.
Police did their best to keep the two groups separated, though tensions boiled over in Vancouver, where one man was handcuffed.
So this guy with the plaid shirt on, he comes in and causes this ruckus, and then they go to take a swipe at him, and then this guy kind of soft paws him, you know, like a little, I'm gonna pat you away, you know. What, I don't know what that is. Maybe protecting him because they know each other. I don't know, but this was the situation with this guy, which was really sus.
Vancouver, where one man was handcuffed and taken away. Police.
You can see the soft paw. You know? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get Antifa the declawed paw on this guy. Like, what is that? What is oh, too much. Anyway, so that was the case, and that was this guy. Now I got this footage. This was footage from me at the scenario. Alta Peasley with a $6.99 super chat. I can't match Minority Fringe facepalm, but I do appreciate you just as much. Wink. Don't miss a single episode of you ever put out. You are my go-to. Thanks. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's fantastic. Amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, let's get to this footage. This footage is I'm literally across the street because my wife saw this happen. We came as a family. I had the trolley with the kids in it, right? And wife sees all these Antifa types. Nah. We're going across the road. We're gonna go see what's up. Okay, so I go across the road with her, and this happens. This guy comes walking up. He walked right by us, and he started shouting from back way back and across the street, started shouting, and he was saying some bad stuff. He was saying the F-bomb, not the F-bomb, like the F-U-C-K. He was saying the slur against gay people, and very loudly, and it was it was very disruptive, and it was outside of the ordinary for the people that were there at the time. Mind you, this is 2 hours before the event. That's my kid and my wife saying, "Arega kawaii na." Like that's scary. My son is 3 years old saying that's scary, right? Of course it's scary. What is this? This is not what we're there for. These are people disrupting things. Yeah, you can see him in there all by himself, and he's just shouting at them. Nobody's shouting at these Antifa types. Nobody's shouting at them from the crowd. Like, again, of about 12 people, 12 or so people. It's just 2 hours before the event. And of course, those loud noises are from the people that were holding those umbrellas. And they had horns, they had all kinds of stuff going on. And they were just being really, really loud and confrontational when they didn't need to be. And this guy just pacing back and forth, just really, really suspect sort of behavior. You wouldn't anticipate this as like normal behavior for anybody. Yeah, agent provocateur, is that how you say it in French? Provocative agents, yeah. So that was the first bit that I caught on film, and then I proceeded to record. Now, I wrote this at the beginning. This is the guy I thought was completely sus that came to the Million March for Kids, right as Antifa showed up, only to be captured for the media. Only confrontation I witnessed. Video of him entering in this thread. Jason Abbey with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Clyde is number 1. Northern Perspective is my number 2. Jimmy Dore 3. Russell Brand 4. Chad, who should be my number 5? Posted in chat. Yeah, who should be number 5? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much that I'm your number 1. People saying Viva Fry, Redacted, all kinds of names in there. That's amazing. That's awesome. Well, let's get on to this other clip, because this is the first thing I thought was, pick up my phone and record, and I didn't put it to landscape mode, so I was just recording vertical. So I stopped it and I kept recording. Now again, he's across the way, and I had to zoom in, so be patient with my my camera work from across the street, zoomed way in. Yeah, so the guy was being very loud, so it's kind of hard to hear in the recording, especially because all the traffic was going by. This is on Howe Street in Vancouver, Howe and Robson, so this was quite loud. Chat, you guys are the best. Clyde, thanks all for your support. Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys all. So see what's going on there. They started to break the small group of people up and push them into other areas where they could intimidate them all. Of course, course, that's their tactics, right? That's the tactic. Now, it was soon after that well, you can see that guy there. He's the guy that ended up in the footage for CTV News. So I'm recording it, and some other guy on the street, he's just like, what's happening?
Two groups, one on one side, one side on the other side. A guy came in as like an agitator out of nowhere and started causing this whole ruckus.
And then there are the police.
Yeah, something.
Lunch and the show.
Yeah, there you go. So nothing happens immediately. My wife was like, we need to get out of here. I don't want the kids anywhere near this. So we got the kids out of there, and we got them sorted to go hang out and do something else somewhere else. Now, just think about this. Just like honestly, think about this. The media went wild telling people this is going to be a dangerous thing, all this blah, blah, blah. Giant opposition talking about all of this, and everybody's, bigoted and hateful, and the world's going to come down on you basically if you go to one of these protests. So despite that, the showing in Canada was amazing. It was amazing, especially for such a woke town like Vancouver. And obviously we heard about the counter protest was actually much larger than the one in probably the wokest city in all of Canada, Victoria, British Columbia. And yeah, we're gonna have an interview about that hopefully next week, early in the week. We can get on that. But the showing was amazing considering that. If you think about it, a lot of people wanted to bring their families, including me. I brought my family to Vancouver for this. But we me and the wife are good communicators, and okay, we got a bug out sort of situation where I can stay there and be there, documented and all that stuff, but they don't have to be in the immediate surroundings. And that's the game we ended up playing. So if you think about all the families in the surrounding area that weren't with all the marchers, like it's just think about that. The amount of people that would have showed, it would have actually been so much bigger if it wasn't for the fear that was put out there. And this makes me think, like, what do you call an organization that's tactic is to use fear for political means? I don't know. I think there's a word for that. There is a word for that. Let me know in the chat. Chat, what is the word for an organization that uses fear and the threats of violence in order to affect political change? Oh, just struggling with that. Let's go to this cam so you can see the chat and what the chat has to say. Oh, is that it? Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah, okay. Some stuff's coming to mind here. A little bit of stuff is coming to mind at the moment here now. Okay, I think I'm starting to be reminded of that. Oh, yep, right there. Yeah. Where is it? There. Yep. That's it. I think there's the word that's the one I was looking for right there. That's the word. That's that not safe for the algorithm word. You don't want to say that one out loud. Probably not the best idea, but no, this is absolutely what that is. It's absolutely what that is. We already come together as a society to say that no, the use of threats of violence for political change is not okay. It is not okay. It is what it is with the $139.99 super chat. That's a oddly specific number. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It is what it is. Hi, how's everyone? I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. I'm in one piece. Came back from that march unscathed. But my spirits are a lot higher. Despite some of the counters. Now, what people don't realize is that the counter protests, yeah, they are a minority in Canada, but they are a very vocal minority in Canada. And that is what is really, you know, terrifying about this whole thing, is they're intimidating, but we are the majority. We are the majority. This stuff can't fly. We can't keep going with this. Jason Abbey with another $5 super chat. Clyde, how much do we need to donate a week regularly until you can leave your job or start your own shop? Well, I can't start my own shop. That's out of the question, because that would take way more time away from this. The reason why I can do this is I work for actually a really, really good shop. A really, really good shop and you know, the guy that owns the shop and runs the shop, he's very, very helpful in the fact that, you know, I say I'm going to work these hours, and he says, okay, sure, I'll accommodate for that. So I work 4 days a week, 8 hours a day. I've gone down to 4 so that I can do more stuff for this channel. This is the only reason why the merch is up, is because I was able to take a whole day off, because I didn't want to take away from the content on the channel to do that stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually really like being a mechanic. I like keeping that, breaking it up between me doing this and doing that other stuff. It helps me stay grounded. I go to work and I'm not the center of attention. I'm a cog in the wheel, and I listen to people. They tell me what I should be doing. I give my recommendations, and you know, the service writers at my job, they tell me, I want you to work on that. I say, yeah, you're the boss. You know what I mean? Helps keep people grounded when you have a different like discipline somewhere else, and you're able to unplug from this stuff and go do that stuff. So I really do enjoy being a mechanic. I don't know if I'd be the same without it. Of course, obviously, if this channel blew up exponentially and got crazy, I would have to focus more time on it. But until then, I'm really happy with being a mechanic. I like it, and you know, even if I did blow up, I'd still want to be able to go to the shop and work on cars. It's what I do. It's my purpose, and I know this is my purpose too now, and it's a tough one. I don't know if I ever want to let it go. I don't know if I ever want to let it go. But I'm okay with being an employee, because that really helps me be able to do this. If I was the business owner, no way. I'd have to give this up for the business. Anyone who's a business owner in the chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's your life. It's your life once you're a business owner, and it doesn't end. But I have a really great relationship with the owner of the business I work at, and we treat each other like colleagues, and we both respect each other for the roles that we play in keeping that business successful, and it is very successful. Let's just say that. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right. Einherjar. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Thank you so much for the $20 super sticker. Is that a super sticker with a super chat? No need to try to pronounce my username. Keep spreading the truth. Love you all. I read that after trying my hardest to pronounce it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really do. Neil from the Hill with another $5 super chat. Thanks, Neil. Holy cow. Thank you. They are the minority, but have police to protect them. You're right about that. But that will only last so long as we keep speaking out about this stuff. If we keep piping up about it, then things will go our way. I mean, look at the Pierre situation. He didn't want to talk about this today, and so he eventually did. Why don't we get into that? So here's Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the official opposition of Canada. A little bit late. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, I know I did put out a tweet. This was my tweet, you know, with the "Where's Pierre 1 million March for Children." Here's a clue: he's not in this book. This is from Alex Woods, by the way. Alex Woods, go follow him on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He's a great follow. Honestly, great stuff. Complete missed opportunity today. That was my statement. A missed opportunity. Now, a lot of people read into what I had to say and said things that I didn't say. Like, they didn't say, like, this is what's really interesting about this whole thing is a lot of people with the pom-poms out. And I'm never going to wave pom-poms for a politician. It'll never happen. Jason Abbey with another super chat. $5. Thank you so much. Will you help Cypher and Fox with their channel? I'm going to light them up this light stream with your half of donations. Awesome. And I have been helping them. I've actually been helping a lot with if you notice I do these overlays and I switches and all this stuff. Well, they used to do that in editing, and I've been helping them do it in a more streamlined way to do it so they have less editing afterwards so that they can publish more videos. And this is how I've been helping them. I can't say enough about, again, they're great people and they're doing such good work. And I wanted to, I took some time to help coach them through some of these things. These are just skills that I developed over the years. I'm not some special guy or anything like that. I picked up these skills doing live streams and producing over the years. And anytime I see someone who I think is doing a good job, I want to come over and I want to help them. So that's one thing I've been doing to help them is help them to be able to, it's the whole, give a man a fish, teach a man to fish sort of thing. So I was helping with the production side of things so that they can produce more content so everybody can get out there and enjoy their content more often. And it definitely helps, I think. Anyway, getting to this missed opportunity today. This was an absolutely big missed opportunity. When Justin Trudeau comes out and he smears these people, absolute just smear job. What did he say? Let me make one thing very clear. Like, dude, you sound like a 40-something-year-old PR lady. And if you're a 40-something-year-old PR lady, sorry, there's nothing against you, but a grown ass man shouldn't sound like that. I'm sorry. Like, let me be very clear. Like, transphobia, homophobia, and biphobia have no place in this country. So first you're labeling what the people have to say. You're telling them what they're saying. You're putting words in their mouths. You're calling them phobic. You're calling them all these things. They're not all those things. They're not those things. You're telling them that they're bigots and all of this stuff. That's not what they are. They're concerned parents. They don't want their kids taught sexualized content. They don't want that. And they don't want teachers to turn around and say, this is just between you and me. You don't have to tell your parents about it. That's sick. That's sick. That's absolutely sick. Yes, this is what people are fighting against. So when you come out and you tell people that they have no place in the country there's no place in the country for people who want to protect their children, that's slander. So yeah, this is why I came out with this. This is why I said, where's Pierre? You want to be the opposition? Be the opposition. Come out against Trudeau and him saying that. Complete missed opportunity today. And as I said, and this is why people are reading into things that I didn't even say. He didn't need to come out in support. Just acknowledge the actual grievance of the march, parental rights. Teachers should never tell students to keep secrets from their parents. Period. Period. End of discussion. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. Now people coming into the comments saying, we did say that. Get into the chats here, sorry. So many, you guys are crazy today. This is insane. Michael McLean with another super chat. Clyde, sorry, I couldn't find your business inquiry link on your YouTube description. No, it's not in the description, sorry. On the channel page, on the about page. So if you go to the channel page, I'll even show you on the screen just so So you sorry. When you go to I'll go to my channel. Here we go. Well, boom. So go to the channel. You'll see home videos, supports, all these things. Scroll all the way to the end. Wow, I got too many headers on here. You'll see about. And when you go here, it'll be for business inquiries, view email address. There it is right there. I was watching this video earlier. That's funny. That's funny. But that's where you'll find that. So let's, I'm looking forward to your email. Thank you. And also, sorry, so many super chats jumping up. Jason Abbey with another $5 super chat. Do you remember my donation to Getva Clyde face reveal on their, Get a Clyde face reveal on their, yeah, I do. LOL, that was hilarious. I hope you do another one with them. Oh, more to come for sure. They were on my channel. I'll be on their channel again. I really like discussing with them. So level-headed. We don't agree on everything, but that's the good part. That's the good part. Excuse me. I'm getting the burps from the old wobbly pops tonight. Eat Me with another super chat. Thank you so much. $10. Appreciate it. Really do. Love Pierre cynicism, but I get weary with his build one-liner. Sounds like Build Back Better. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like Build Back Better butter. I like that. That's funny. Just an observation. Time shall judge on his WEF-free cabinet. And I believe him when he says he's going to get rid of the WEF. I know it's a big talking point for a lot of Canadians, and I take that for sure. But don't forget, he's a politician. He is a politician. We need to change the culture, and this is what we're doing. We're doing it out on the streets, and we're doing it out on live streams, and we're doing it by talking to our neighbors. We're doing it by bringing this up at church or other community events. Talk with people. This is what changes the community. We've been asleep way too long. The politicians will follow suit if you set the stage for them. And that's really what it comes down to. And they'll fall in line because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose the next election. Chris B with a $2.79 super chat. Congratulations, 120,000 followers, Clyde. Yes, 120,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Just broke that. I think it was this morning. Amazing. Thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate that. That's a benchmark that feels really good. It feels really good. I know how hard it is to get to 20, let alone 120. It's crazy. I really appreciate that. Thank you all so much. Carla S, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate that as well. You guys are incredible tonight. Holy cow. So let's do this. I see Rob Primo's trying to join, but he's it looks like audio only. I'm not seeing his video. So hopefully he can repair that. Well, we'll get into this anyway. So these are some of the responses I was getting on Twitter. Here's an example. He's spoken about it. Wish peeps would watch his videos more closely before speaking and expecting him to be at every individual's whim. Beck and call and speak when you want him to. He has a job to do. Second day of House of Commons. Surely we don't need approval or a pat on the back because we rallied. Wow. I mean, what's going on in your head in that comment is my question right there. Because here we are. It's Newbie 431 with a super chat. Canada sucks, lol. What? Canada's sucking at the moment. That's true. And then also giving 10 memberships away to the channel. Oh man, thank you so much. I really really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Newbie 431. Everybody who got a new membership from Newbie, get in the chat and thank him. Please do that. That is just amazing. It's too kind. It's too kind. Thank you so much. Neil from the Hill with a $2 super chat. How do I send a link? Through the Discord, possibly. I don't know if I'll be able to cover many more of these because we're going to get into a chat here really soon with Rob Primo. So we're going to get into that. So let's move on with this last bit because I wanted to make this point. So we're being told, he shouldn't have to respond to every rally cry. What is it? 77 cities throughout Canada? 77 cities. 77 cities turned out for this. Yes, we want somebody to pay attention. We don't want this to go unseen. And while it brought the attention of Justin Trudeau to slander people that were out there protesting this, it had enough to draw the attention of Jagmeet Singh to go out and tell people that Canadian parents that care about their children and don't want them exposed to indecent things are bigots. What is this? No. Yes, we expect something when people get off. And I wrote this. Yes, people want acknowledgement when they take the day off work, pull their kids out of school, and make a statement by taking to the streets from coast to coast in over 70 cities. People remember this kind of thing when they're asked to take time to go to the polls and cast their vote. Yes, people want a response. Yes, people want a response. You can't say that they're not deserving of a response. Pierre Poilievre finally, 2 days later, comes out. Justin Trudeau always divides to distract from all that he's broken. This time, he's demonizing concerned parents. This is all he had to say. But the media is reporting that on the day and the day after, that he told his ministers to shut up, zip it, don't say anything. Don't say anything to the media. So, yeah, I like the rhetoric that Pierre Poilievre puts out there. Yeah, I like it. I like what he has to say. And when he says this stuff, I'm absolutely concerned. I'm absolutely concerned when the guy that is expecting me to vote for him, the guy who's supposed to be championing the people and, the working class, the everyday people, doesn't come out when they come out. When they come out. The timing is important for these things because we're so familiar with politicians waiting until, is it a popular movement? Should I get involved? I don't know. Wiffle waffling, right? The old wiffle waffle. Yeah, people aren't keen on that wiffle waffle. They want to see they want to see these politicians actually get to the crux of it and actually say, no, I have a principled position, not a poll numbers position. You know what I mean? Daifeichu, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. The day before the 1 million March for Children, the Hamilton Board of Education sent a letter to parents saying that they are harmful and targeting certain groups. I got that letter. From CUPE from my kid's school. Thank you so much, by the way. Daifeichu, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got that letter from CUPE. Not to my personal email, to my wife's email. And she showed it to me and we were disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. What are you doing? Using the email list from the school to put your political opinion out there. No, that's not worth it. Or it's not appropriate is what I should be saying there. It's absolutely not appropriate. But yeah, Pierre Poilievre finally comes out, says his thing. Is too late better than never? Yes it is. Yeah, it is. But was that good? I don't know. It was a disappointment. I felt disappointed by that. So, and I'm, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like I said, have your opinions on the matter. Everyone has their say in this whole thing. And this is what's great. The vibrant, discussion back and forth. And I like when people push back on me because I I won't shut people out, and I won't block people, and I won't do any of that stuff. People are calling me a PPCer, and I disagree with what PPC did, what Maxime Bernier did. I'm glad that he came out and he supported it, but he came out with a pile of placards for the PPC. That kind of takes away from the whole reason for the march in the first place. So I didn't particularly like that aspect of it, but that was something that he chose to do. And what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do? That's him. That's his prerogative and what he does. But it was better than not doing anything at all, in my opinion. And that's kind of where I sat with that one. And I can't even believe I'm saying this. I can't even believe I'm saying this. It's hard to get a conservative politician to be on the side of parents. And this is where we are. Welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada, folks. It's just, it's absolutely disheartening to hear that, or to have to say those words out loud. But I want to introduce my guest today, and my guest, fantastic guy here. He's been doing lots of work and on all kinds of different platforms. He recently has been putting a ton of effort into finding out just who's behind all of this stuff with the unions, and why is it that they reckon that they have such a say in what goes on in Canadian politics. Why do they feel that this is their purview to end demonstrations that are grassroots and put together by parents that are concerned about something? Yeah, you maybe disagree. Go have a conversation with them. Why are you doing this and organizing threats, like threatening behavior? This is not the purview of unions. The purview of unions is to represent their representatives, represent the workers that they represent. It, at no point in this week, and what I've been hearing out of the unions in Canada, has it been a case where they were jumping in to aid someone who was recently, fired or what have you. Oh yeah, with a $13.99 super chat. It was awesome meeting you. Yes, it was awesome meeting you too. It was great. First time to actually meet Olya in person. We've hung out in the Discord many times, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. It was really awesome to meet you. But getting on with this, Jason Abbey with a $5 super chat. We don't hate 2S LGBT 2S, whatever the alphabet. But we don't need them to tell and influence innocent kids. Let's stand up and end this. Absolutely. It's not about hating anybody. It's about innocence. It's about preserving innocence. Tristan with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Tristan. I really appreciate that. Holy cow. I want to get to my guest. Thank you guys, but I really got to get into this. Without further ado, Rob Primo, ladies and gents. Rob, thank you so much for joining me.
Clyde, thanks for having me. Wow, I have had a busy couple days. I was really worried I actually wasn't going to make it back in time tonight. But here I am, and I'm on with you, and I'm happy that I made it back in time.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to make it. Holy cow. And about being busy, I have been witnessing how busy you've been. It's incredible, the work that you've been doing. I know I've tried to DM you a few times here and there, and it was like, nah, he's not getting back to me. It's fine. It's fine. But the work you've been doing is incredible. So run us through this. What happened, and why have you been so busy lately?
Well, I think the biggest thing that happened is the last time me and you talked, Clyde, what happened at the park in St. Catharines there, and everything I seen, it really struck me, and it gave me a lot of different concerns, and it really made me realize, the media out there isn't doing the work that needs to be done on the ground, and we don't have people out there. I mean, we do. Sorry, we're seeing people who are just everyday citizens go out there right now, and a lot of people are really, snapping things together and painting a picture for many people on the ground or who aren't there on the ground. I seen earlier on in the week that you had Karima Saad on,
Yes.
and it's been really cool to see what's going on. I think we're at a really important time where we're seeing people like Karima who are giving neutral coverage to things that maybe aren't even exactly what she's into, but there's a camera on the ground and you can make up your own opinion.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Kareem Assad, fantastic work. Of course, she's from the left. She has left-leaning perspectives, and that's fine. People can have those, and it's really actually hard to get people on the left to come on my show because they think I'm going to ambush them, and that's not what I'm here for. I want to actually have civil dialogue. This is the whole point of this, but it's really difficult, and I can understand it. Even Karima, from her perspective, if she publishes something and it even feels not left-wing, they attack her, and it's crazy. And if she publishes something that's left wing, people on the right attack her. So we need to stop with the attacks. It's really we're not getting anywhere good with this.
Yeah, it's been interesting for me to watch because I'm somebody that at one point Karima was quite critical of, and Karima used to show up at events I was at, and she would cover me being there and kind of follow me around and see what I was doing and put it on the internet after. And it's been interesting to see, from what I understand, the anti-hate network and her had a little bit of a falling out there in a difference of agreements on certain things. And it seems like a lot of people from the left just came out and went after her. And I've seen some of the hate and abuse and harassment, things that I would actually call, real, that's been put towards her. And it's not a good thing to see,
Well, and I would say that like her disagreement with the anti-hate network is that she wants to tell the truth. And that's a fundamental disagreement right there. She genuinely wants the truth, whether it goes along with her worldview or not. That's an admirable trait to have as a person, to be able to say like, okay, well, I don't necessarily agree with whatever, but this is the reality of the situation. And she's butted heads with the anti-hate network because of that. They want to go out and they want to slander their political opponents, and the truth be damned, right? As long as it fits, omit, lies by omission or lies by just blatant lies. Like this is the tactics of this organization, and it's come out recently to be a fact.
Yeah, that's right, Clyde. And the one thing they do is they shut down dialogue. They don't want people to have dialogue with people like me or you who simply may have conservative values. They see that as a threat to their political agenda and ideas, and they don't want people to communicate with us. And I think the reason they don't want people to communicate with us is because after speaking to us, they realize that all those names and all the demoralization and the tactics that they try and use against us, they're not on full display when you actually sit down and have dialogue and conversations with us, which is kind of letting people know like, oh, wait a minute, these people aren't off all these awful words that we call them, and that might take their progress that they think they're having in a different direction. So I think that's why they want to shut down dialogue. And, Karima's gotten to the point now where she's she'll cover anything. She'll cover their side. She'll cover this side. She'll cover neutral ground. Today I asked Karima, I said, hey, can you give me an update on, what you've seen, kind of give me a neutral, fulsome support so I can put it out there and let everyone see. And I actually had someone slide into my DMs and they were like, I don't know why you would put that on the internet, because they said something that was a little bit critical of someone on our side. And I said, no. That's not how this works with me, man.
No, not at all.
I said, there were a lot of things that I was trying to say over the past few years, and I was silenced in every single way possible. The way I handle things, I want to hear what everyone has to say and what everyone has to offer. And if I don't agree with their message and I'm at an event covering it, I'm still going to put that message out there if someone's willing to talk to me. I spent a lot of time today trying to engage with the other side, but I could tell that every time I went over there and said, hey, I'm genuinely here to try and have a conversation and see what kind of concerns you have and see if we can have dialogue. But it's in their defender guide or whatever it's called that they just can't communicate and have these conversations.
It's in what? There's a protocol.
Yeah, there's an actual guide that I don't have it on me right now, but I believe you can.
Is it like a
locate
little
it through
red book
the-
with Mao on it?
essentially,
What?
it's
Really?
probably something like that.
Holy cow!
Yeah, you can find it.
That's
The
unbelievable. Yeah, it's
Anti-Hate
unbelievable.
Network actually puts it out. The Anti-Hate Network puts it out, and yeah, it's pretty incredible, Clyde. There's like a big list of rules that you kind of have to follow, and if you don't adhere to these rules and follow them, you kind of get kicked out of the club, right?
And dialogue. Don't engage in dialogue with the other side. That sounds so awful. I mean, it sounds like some of the politicians that we've been hearing lately too. I mean, if you're about to have a conflict with another nation, the best thing to do is dialogue. You want to de-escalate. Everybody knows this. Didn't you say you used to be a bouncer? I know you're a big dude. I think you told me before that you used to be a bouncer, but I worked in a bar before as well in Japan. And the number one rule to a situation in a bar is walk over calmly and engage in dialogue. That's the number one spot.
Yeah, and this is like something that we're really missing these days. I even, I'm not going to sit here and just try and chip away at the police, but even that, like, I come from a field too where I used to work with individuals with behavior disabilities and that, and so de-escalation was a lot of what I was trained in doing, and it's very interesting to see how go to these protests and see when people are really worked up and they're up here. And to see the force they're met with come in and, yell over top of them or be louder than them or, kind of escalate them as where, we were always trained to have empathy and jump into that situation and have a basic understanding of what that person's going through and to de-escalate the situation. I find that a lot of people out there are trying to escalate things, and it's really unfortunate to see that happen.
That really is. I'm going to get to some of these super chats just real quick. Jason Abbey with a
Sure.
$5 super chat says, "Don't read out Clyde. I'm going to. Everyone in chat, please close chat to click the like button. It really helps the channel." Yes, it does. And I did read it anyway. Nobody tells me what to do on my channel. No, I'm joking. Tristan 70 with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Tristan. I'm a Nana and CUPE member on Van Island. I was physically assaulted by a trans. My Métis daughter was called a Nazi and a racist. I wrote to CUPE National. Oh, I don't know what they're going to respond to that, because we've been seeing what some of their responses have been. Even I'm talking about from the higher ups in that. Jason Abbey also gifting a membership to the channel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And yeah, okay, we're clear with that.
Yeah, Well, we're on the topic of CUPE. I was once a member of CUPE as well. I'll get that out there.
Okay.
But today
you have to be if you work in some of these industries.
Yes,
you're required to do that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, there's, like I said, as somebody who's been a member of CUPE for a long time, and I'm no longer now. They really do have a lot of control over you, and we won't go too into my personal life, but I've had personal experiences where I've realized that the union that we pay actually kind of sides with the company more than the union members. But that's something that's happened with unions a lot lately. They seem to be politically captured or captured by finance. And, there's a lot of deals that are done. There's more deals than representation, which is, something we've seen roll out over the past few years.
Well, in this case, it's not representation at all. They're going way above and beyond what their purview is in engaging in protests against parents. I mean, they're not a union against parents. They're unions for public employees. These are other unions for whatever other industries. And the thing is, do the people they represent know that their dues are being paid for this.
I know, right? That's the really weird thing. I think some of them do, because the other lady, when we had the 1 million March for Children, or the other day, my apologies, when we had the march there, I had a lady that pulled over in her car, and she had a mask on because she didn't want her identity being exposed. She called me over, and I walked over and had a nice conversation with her. She actually showed me an internal email she had from the union stating that they, as union members, will be paid a full day's wage if they go out there and do this counter protest. On top of that. So now I am trying to get, so now you got big viewership on your channel, Clyde. So if there's anybody that wants to send that in to me or you, Clyde, I would love to put that out there and keep that anonymous, because unfortunately,
Absolutely.
I'd seen the email, but I wasn't able to get it off this woman who was, pretty terrified. But what she had to do was call in sick to work that day because she didn't feel comfortable standing against parents. And that's not what her values are. And she shouldn't have to do that. And she told me that there was a message that was kind of floating around internally with union brothers and sisters that they were going to kind of look down on people who didn't show up, as like almost like you scab the lion when there's a strike, right? So if you're not doing exactly what the union wants you to do, they're going to be upset with you as a union member. So a lot of people were out there for sure knowing this, that they just didn't want to be looked down on, and they didn't want to look like they weren't taking part in a union event. So these people are essentially being, bought to go out and protest by having a day's wage given to them.
Yes.
Which makes me wonder,
which means the
there was
workers in these unions who are paying dues paid for a paid political event against parents.
Right. And then not only that, but today I noticed a lot of QP representatives as well. So you have to ask yourself, I don't know about today, but is this another paid day? So are these people getting days off of work to go and protest for money right now? Like, what exactly is going on? There's a lot that we need to figure out.
That's absurd. That's disgusting. I had no idea that was the case. Now, I did get someone reached out to me today and sent me an email that they had received by one of the high ups in TD Bank, and even you think any of these places this would just be innocuous. What is this? It has nothing to do with your industry. But they were getting emails encouraging them to go and be part of the counter protest for this event. And this is the thing, people don't know. They're not being told what they're going to counter protest. The emails don't lay it out that, yeah, these are parents that are concerned about SOGI and what's being taught to kids, and the fact that teachers are stepping over their boundary and saying to children, no, you don't have to tell your parents about what we're talking about here. This is just between you and me. This is our little secret. That, if people knew that that's what the protests were about, they wouldn't have this type of fervor against it.
No, they wouldn't. And of course they're reading what all the headlines are saying, because it's just, that's what you read from the editor, anti-L, what, right? And that's not the case. And we know that's not the case. But for people who just come home from work, the average person, and they just turn the TV on and they absorb what they see on TV, that's what they're getting out of this. So, they're seeing people who they think just hate them for no reason. And they're going out there and they're meeting them with force. Like I'm sure you've seen some of the things that happened today, and it wasn't a good look. It was really hard to watch.
So I was confused. What was the protests about today? Because the march was scheduled for the 20th, and that was that, and that's a one and done. It's over. Why were more people going out for more protests today?
Yeah, so what today was, Clyde, is I want to say about 4 or 5 months ago, Josh Alexander and Billboard Chris, they decided that they were going to collaborate and do a education over indoctrination protest, which they were going to do today. So they held it at a school in Toronto that was a public school and a Catholic school. And basically, they just wanted to be on the outside of the school and hopefully they could have some conversations with people who would show up, because you know how Chris works himself. He just likes to go out there and have conversations with people. But when the community found out what was going on, they did the same thing. All these union members now are starting to come together. So, in my opinion, what I believe is that these people weren't getting enough numbers showing up to these events. So now, the institutions have done what the institutions do. They've waved some money in front of these people's face, and money, equals power and control. You can get people to do anything pretty much for money. So what they've done is they're paying these people to go out there and do what they're doing. And, today everyone showed up there, with masks on and their umbrellas and hid their identity. And unfortunately, Nick Alexander was assaulted. And after he was assaulted, and he was assaulted pretty good. He was very covered in blood. And after he was assaulted, he was arrested. And he never even threw a punch or anything. And that gentleman you have on screen there, Wild Bill, who's a veteran for freedom, was arrested as well. And he was in the back of the paddy wagon. And, I had to hear him screaming that he couldn't breathe and that, his cuffs were on too tight. And it's really hard to see someone who served our country being arrested and thrown in the back of a paddy wagon.
For such a simple thing as like going out and saying, don't indoctrinate kids with, this crazy stuff that, again, I mean, who would disagree with the fact that you don't want teachers to be taught this stuff or teaching this stuff to kids on the sly? Again, on the sly is where you really have to draw the line. And, if parents know, I had this when I was a kid, right? There was sex ed and all that. And there was, certain religious families that said, no, we don't agree with that. So the kids would leave the room. Whatever. So allow for that. It's absolutely that's totally within the bounds of appropriate, and sex ed is a biology class. I mean, at the end of the day,
yes,
that's all that is. It's here's your anatomy. Here's you're gonna have some changes happening pretty soon. And in those changes, you're gonna experience some things, and things are gonna get weird, and you're gonna start looking at the other kids with different feelings. It's just it was a weird, awkward time. And that's what sex ed was when I was growing up. Now, what sex ed is today is not that anymore. It's, it's sexual ed, if anything. That's what we're hearing about. Now, if parents don't want that to be taught to their kids, so be it. Just say like, okay, sorry, little Jimmy, can't be at this one. Your parents aren't keen on it. That's it. But now it's become like part of every aspect of kids learning. I'm not kidding, Rob. I rode by the preschool that my daughter went to today on my way to work, and they had that new flag outside, and not a little one. And
yeah,
it was the one. It's the rainbow, but then it's got a bunch of different hooked lines on it and a circle. I don't know what the circle stands for. Like, what is the new little gem in that whole alphabet? Whatever it means, but it was a giant flag in front of a preschool, Rob. A preschool where 4-year-olds attend.
Yeah, it's just, it really is unnecessary. It's not part of the education curriculum at that type of age. These kids at that age should be building blocks and learning social skills with friends in the classroom and learning, how to engage with each other. That's what happens at that age. We're not learning about these flags and all of these extra measures that are going in there. And parents have had enough. And, there's a lot of parents that really do have horror stories. It really opened my eyes the other day when that rally was going on. There was, it wasn't your normal people. We just kept having parents coming up to the microphone and saying, can we please talk? Can we please talk? And then they would share their story and another person would share their story. And it's like, oh wow, you guys actually have a lot of different stories that have gone on here in Niagara. So it's something that parents are dealing with all over the country. So if anyone on here is dealing with that and you feel alone, please don't, and please talk to other parents at your school. The best way we can combat this is exactly what Clyde was saying before I was on here, is by us shifting the culture, is by us coming together. What I'm trying to do in my area is put together groups, a group of 30 or 40 of us who are comfortable going together and attending these municipal lower level government meetings, school board meetings, because if you guys start to pay attention there, clearly I feel like we've been captured at a certain level of government, not the lower levels. And that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right, but these other levels, you'll see they're really trying to make a lot of changes at these levels.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
the
disgusting.
municipal ones.
So I went to this event in Vancouver, and at the event, I had to take the day off work to go to it, right? I mean, for a lot of these people, again, this isn't fair weather stuff. Like, you're telling me union workers got paid to go there. I missed a day's work. Everybody there that went to it missed a day's work. And they drag their kids out of school too, right? So this is a thing. I went down to it and I missed a day's work. So I came back the next day, and I was just talking because someone was like, what were you doing yesterday? Oh, I went to this event. It was, parents protesting against this, inappropriate stuff that's happening for kids in schools. And one of my colleagues comes up and he's like, really? What was it about? What was it about? And then he proceeds to explain that his ex is dabbling in all this stuff, and he has no control over this. And his little girl comes over and says, mommy says I could be a boy if I want to be. And he's trying to be open with his kid and say, yeah, maybe you can. I don't know. Why don't you just concern yourself with just being a kid? Like, let's play with toys and stuff. Like, it's so incredibly sad to hear. And then I find out that in the town that I live in, my kids are never involved in this stuff, but they've been doing the drag story hour thing, and they introduced that a while back. And people organized this, and then they made it happen. And he tells me the person that they had hired to come do this event, they had to stop using them. Why? Because they got convicted of a crime with a minor.
Yeah, this is the type of stuff that scares the crap out of any of us as parents, and it does happen. Unfortunately, there was an event I was covering in Welland, I want to say about 6 or 7 months ago now, and we'll keep it YouTube appropriate.
Yes, please.
There was a gentleman that was in this building that I got on camera, and this was an all ages drag show, and this gentleman was convicted as well and had stipulations that he's not to be in a public place around minors, and he was breaking that condition, and he was there. And after people mentioned it to the police, there wasn't enough evidence to do something about it. Now, not only was this person there, but they were actually sitting at a table that was close to another Liberal member of Parliament. So then I started trying to ask this Liberal member of Parliament, do you know this person is convicted? Like, you're basically sitting at a table across from, him. And then I got blocked on Instagram or Twitter by this MP. So, anytime you have a valid conversation that you want to bring up, that might shine some light on the darkness, it seems like they just want to completely shut that down.
Well, I tried to make sense of the whole thing. Why do you want to subject kids to this? What's the purpose of it? I haven't been able to get to the bottom of it. I have this story here from CTV News. It's from a while back. They're saying the truth behind drag story time and why it's important. And all I could get out of it was that essentially you're trying to normalize this for kids. Why is that important? Why is it important to normalize this kind of behavior for children, that's not normal. Can you make sense of it? Like,
No, I can't make any sense of it whatsoever. And as someone who's worked with a lot of kids that have been abused, unfortunately, that was something I used to have to do in an old job of mine. It's heartbreaking. And these kids are vulnerable. They're very vulnerable. And what happens when these kids see these queens is they see someone different. And when you're a kid, someone that's different is interesting to you. So kids are going to get interested in someone who's getting lots of attention and seems different than other people.
mm-hmm.
That's just how kids are. So it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. And, that should be something that's a parent's choice for sure. You shouldn't just have to know that one day that might show up in your child's classroom.
Well, this line right here, discrimination, lack of family support, and institutional prejudice are some of the factors that increase the risk of suicide for queer youth. When I would look at that, and I would actually read that differently, I would read it: discrimination, lack of family support, and institutional prejudice are some of the factors that make them targets for predators. Like these are big time target things. And yeah, you might call them queer youth, but have they been coaxed into that? Are they feeling that way because of the effects of being coaxed into that type of thing and being asked to do things? Like these are effects that aren't actually being brought up in these discussions. They just make these statements as if they're statements of fact, and I'm not sure that that's a safe way to approach it. And we keep seeing stories like this. One of the most those harmless story hour drag queens was just sentenced for 11 charges of sexual abuse. More stories coming from all over the place. Newly appointed elementary principal is drag queen with a seriously alarming arrest record. And it doesn't stop. It just keeps coming. There's more of these stories. Drag queen who danced for kids charged with 25 counts of CP.
Yeah. It's just one really interesting thing I've realized when I've gone to these rallies lately, and I've been trying to engage in dialogue, is one of the first things I try and say to the other side is there anyone over there who's a parent that I can talk to? I would love to speak with someone who's a parent. I have yet to find a parent who's out there who's willing to talk from the other side. I believe that a lot of these activists from the left are people who are a part of this community who have never had children and never will have children. So I don't think that there's someone who should be deciding what's going to happen to our children.
Well, the other good question in this whole thing is, if it's important for drag queens to become, culturally acceptable, or any of these oddities and stuff like that, they need to be culturally acceptable across the board. Why aren't they going to read stories to the elderly in the nursing homes? Why aren't they going to other meetups? Why aren't they going to, any kind of other charity sort of events? Why aren't they going to feed the homeless? They exclusively want to target children and children's events. It's alarming.
Another really interesting correlation is it always seems to be a male who wants to dress as a female, and we don't really see too many females who want to dress as a male and go and read to these people, it's always the one way, one way. So it's very concerning. And, I'm concerned for some predatory behavior. And I think, we all really need to keep standing against this the way we have. We need to keep having conversations the way we are right now. And most importantly is we need to really have these conversations with people we have an influence on, people who are our family, people who are our friends, people who are our neighbors, the big thing is if we can all make these small changes around our neighborhoods and in our communities, it's going to trickle across the country. And the biggest thing we can do right now is change the culture.
Absolutely. I've been saying this for a while now because I think this is the most important way of doing it. Even politicians won't do anything until the culture is on the menu. This is what we need to do, and I think you and I are doing the right thing in this. I'm going to get to some of these super chats because they've just been rolling in. Jason Abbey with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Can you plug the guest social media? I'm sorry I missed it earlier. Wobbly Pop evacuation. Yeah, to pee. Definitely plugging. You right now. I can't find you on Twitter. When I wanted to tag you in the tweet, and I typed it your @ mark all the way out, and it didn't auto load. You are completely shadow banned right now. So it's at the Rob Primo 1 on X, but you're completely shadow banned. What's your on Instagram? I know you're on there and on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, on Instagram I'm the Rob Primo, and then on YouTube I believe I'm the Rob Primo as well. I've actually talked to Clyde before, I think, about giving me a little bit of a hand starting a new YouTube, and I think that's something we'll work on soon because I really messed up with the first YouTube there, and I can't get it figured out. So
yeah, no problem.
I'll set up a new one soon
and make sure everybody goes over to it for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some more of these ones. David with the $5 super chat. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers is in bed with the Canadian Post Corp. CUPW is a Marxist-led union with their logo being a raised, clenched fist. That's the power fist or whatever you call it. I always laugh because it's Power Fist is the brand at Princess Auto or Harbor Freight for those people. It's like the cheap brand. You're like, all right, you got your Power Fist out. Good job, you. Vesper Design. He redacted one post with a $20 super chat. Thanks for the redacted super chat, my man. Jason Abbey with another $5 super chat. Can you give us a bit more detail on James Riddle Hoffa? Does he only cover unions or does he have a section? I'm not sure what the James Riddle Hoffa means. Do you know the reference?
You know what, Clyde, they might be talking about, when I found out about all these union members who had a lot to say to parents, I took some time to find out who they were and kind of figure out where they were and what they do and whatnot. So I published a list on Twitter on my account of what their positions were and where they were from. And this might be one of the individuals I'm thinking that I probably posted on there. Oh. But guys, I posted like over 100 people. So to be honest with you, I can't remember who that is.
And we're going to get into that because this is why you're so shadow banned. And right after these super chats, Vesper Design with another $20 super chat. Thanks. If you want to know how unions can be corrupted, please look up James Riddle Hoffa. Okay. We're hearing this name again.
There we go.
This is the name. Okay. Jason Abbey with another $20 super chat. Who are your three favorite channels? Two as in two, TOO. Two, what are your hobbies or activities and that you like to do? Three, if you travel in the Okanagan, would you do a couple hour meetup, a greet type of thing? Would you do that if you were out this way?
Me or you?
I think he's addressing you in this. Would you do a meetup?
Oh yeah, man. Like I'm so cool. Like I'm so down to meet up with anybody. Like I actually watch Clyde's channel a lot. And you guys got a really cool community in here, and I'm all about building these communities. It's so cool to have a loyal fan base, and I know how much you guys mean to Clyde too, so that's super special. So a couple of the first questions you're gonna have to hit me with again, Clyde.
Oh, okay, yeah. So what are your?
Did you close it?
No, I've got it. Who are your three favorite channels on YouTube?
Three favorite channels. Ooh, okay, so
it's always a hard one. You always got like, I'm gonna leave somebody out. Somebody's gonna be mad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? To be honest, I'm gonna go with some guys that I like that are kind of like on my level. I really like Clyde. I like Greg Wycliffe as well. And a third one's really like hitting my head right now. I'm trying to think of it.
It's all right.
I might have to get back to you guys on that one. I can't even think of a third channel right now.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to think of that when you're talking about this stuff, and you're like, okay, derailed. Then the other question was, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your spare time other than doing this stuff?
Yeah, so in my spare time, guys, I love to work out. It doesn't really look like it right now, but working out's a
I've
big
seen your
thing,
pictures. Yeah, you're a big boy.
Yeah, I really enjoy working out, guys. I have kids, so I really enjoy spending time with my kids. I coach soccer team for both my girls, so I'm pretty busy with that kind of stuff. I really like helping out in the community and helping out the homeless community here locally. So that's a lot of the kind of stuff I get involved in. And was there anything else I missed there?
No, you nailed it. You nailed it.
I nailed it?
Yeah, we've
All
also got Steve's Hyde. The $5 super chat says Canada is probably the best place in the world for LGBT people. They have equal rights. Just let the kids be. Yeah, absolutely. I can't disagree with that. 100%. That's
man. Everybody's like on that page, and we're seeing what we're seeing right now, guys, is we're seeing a play that we've seen before. We're seeing, where everybody who didn't want to get the jab was an anti-vaxxer. So now so they didn't want to actually talk about our grievances. They wanted to add fuel to the fire. So right now they have an opportunity where we could address the education system. But nobody wants to do that. They want to add fuel to the fire because if, the left and the right are fighting with each other, they're forgetting about the real issue we have, which is the establishment right now.
Yes. Well, the left and the right aren't fighting. I think that's a facade. I think every time you talk,
yeah, me too.
Every time you talk on the level with people who are left leaning, they agree. They agree with you just leave the Cubs alone. You know what I mean? Stay away from the Cubs, and the bear won't attack you. Jane Robinson with a 279 super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But yeah, it's all about seeing things from the perspective. Now, there's a lot of rhetoric. It's really heavy rhetoric that gets thrown at this, and Justin Trudeau so guilty of this. Jagmeet Singh really guilty of this, and this is where people take exception to this, and we're not fascists. I mean, like, who's calling people that these days? What are you doing? Because like, there's no Fourth Reich. Nobody's coming back with this stuff. Those are all marginalist, like marginal ideas that, like, if there's people that believe that stuff, it's like 5 of them, and they got a newsletter somewhere in Alabama. I don't know. It doesn't exist here. Like, that stuff doesn't exist. They're throwing these boogeymen and straw manning everybody with this boogeyman idea of some bad person. And like you said earlier, they give out leaflets to people so that they squash the chances that they'll actually be able to speak with these individuals that they disagree with, because they might just agree.
Yes. That's exactly what they're doing. I've had that happen to me here at a local level, trying to delegate at my council as well. And they just won't let me do it. And I handle myself well morally there, and they've completely demoralized me here in my community through newspaper and mainstream media and things like that. So, the answer to demoralization is morals. And so I try and go about things the right way, and they've made it so I can't. And lately, specifically, I've had a woman who I don't even know who she is, but she's delegated 2 weeks in a row all about me and identifying different things she doesn't like about me, letting people know what neighborhood I live in and things like that. Meanwhile, when we delegate at council, we're not even allowed to talk about a counselor who we might have an issue with. You're not allowed to address that on the public record. However, we're letting people from the community come in and make defamatory statements about members of the community. So it's like The people we elected, we're not allowed to talk about, but you guys are going to let these people talk about me, which is in return going to bring hate my way, the very thing that you're here to discuss, right? So it's a double-edged sword. It's really really hypocritical of them.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's no place for hate. Well, what does that mean? Does that what you think is hate? Are you saying that people are expelled from society? They're expelled from being allowed to live in a home, have a job, all of these things. That's not. This is how you create further divide. It reminds me of the stupid Shia LaBeouf thing when he did the "We will not divide us." He spent all this effort dividing people with the slogan "We will not divide us," and
Right.
it's counterintuitive if you think that what their goals are a reunification of Canada. Like, this is actually the separation of Canada. They're pushing us further and further into divide.
Right. So what's going on? I'll give you guys an example of some of the things that are happening at a municipal level really quick. So what's going on right now is the municipal government is trying to put forth a new motion in my area, and it's under the guise of hate and harassment. So like I said on Clyde's show before, I had an issue with an event that happened out of a local park. Now, I have done the proper measures to try and address this issue. I've tried to delegate at council. I've reached out to the city councillor. I didn't hear back, so I reached out to Niagara regional councillors who didn't get back to me. I've reached out to the ombudsman. I've done and filed a complaint. So the only other thing I can do other than that is when the mayor's out in public is I can show up with my camera and ask him questions. I can say, "Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I'm a resident of your community. I'm just wondering if we can talk about some of the issues I've seen in the park," because originally I sent him an email saying I'd like to work together to set some safeguards up to have it more age appropriate for children next year or take the children out of the mix. So now what's happening is, because I'm willing to ask the politicians in the area these questions, they want to make it so if I ask them questions that this is hate or that it's some type of harassment. So they've reached out to the Niagara Regional Police in the past when I've asked, MP Biddle some questions, and they wanted to know if there was grounds for a charge. And they were like, well, no, like, there's freedom of speech in Canada. Like, you're allowed to ask a member of parliament a question if they're in public.
Yeah, that's right.
So the police won't lay a charge because it's not a criminal thing. So now what the region's doing is they're sidestepping over the police, and they want to make it a municipal bylaw, and they're going to have to get a bylaw officer to enforce it because the police won't even enforce it because it's not legit. So what's going to happen? Like, am I going to go ask him a question and maybe a bylaw officer is going to give me a charge, and then I'm going to have to go to court all over against bylaw again, like I already did, and it'll just get beat in the end, but it's like a pain in the butt. So it's really petty. It's really ridiculous. But basically the moral of the story is that these local governments are starting to team up with the guys at the top, and they're starting to bring in these diversity, equity, and inclusion committees, talking about 15-minute cities, and they're talking about all these things that tie into the agenda at hand. So it's an important time for us to pay attention.
It is an important time. And it's ridiculous to think that, I mean, I've always likened people that like to get into government with, hall monitors, like the snivelly little, I'm telling on you for this thing, and then, like blowing things out of proportion. Or like if you have a co-op, like a home cooperative neighborhood or something like that, and it's people coming out telling you your grass is like a millimeter too long and giving you fines and things like that. Like, it's really crazy how quickly people will become tyrants. This is why we set up our framework of governance, so that this is not allowed. You're not allowed to make rules like this. You're not allowed to just say, well, if somebody comes and complains about me, that's hate, and we want to shut that down, and we're going to make it a city ordinance that you're not allowed to be hateful, and with our clear definition, a real redefining of the words hate and whatever violence. We heard that even from Ottawa police when they were questioned in the POEC. The interim chief Bell, when he was asked, when you say violence, what are you referring to, the criminal code definition of violence? And he says, no, I'm referring to my own new definition of violence, which is defined by, if I feel uncomfortable in a situation, you've perpetrated violence against me. This is a reality of the situation. Like, we are living in an Orwellian type world at this moment, and people are just like,
we are
like, I would tell people this, like, you're blowing it out of proportion, Clyde. Look at it. Look at the situation. I'm not blowing this out of proportion. I'm literally just showing you what's happening. This is what you're doing, Rob. You're showing people what's happening, and it's egregious.
I know, right? And sometimes it's easy. Like the other day, I had a clip I put up. I was at the district school board of Niagara, and we had the media show up with a clown in a costume in their vehicle to come. And I don't know if you've seen that or not yet, but he came over and he was being a provocateur. And while he was doing that, the media was hiding behind a tree with their camera.
Shut up.
And I ran up there, and I swear I got the whole thing. You could look it on Twitter. I said to everyone there, I go, listen, guys, whatever you do, don't engage with this protester. I said, I literally watched them show up with the media. This guy just came out here in a clown suit. Now he's pushing the women around in that. I said, look over at the tree there. And these guys over on the tree, they're hiding behind there trying to take pictures of you pushing them back or whatever. So I did the whole thing on a live video, and I went and then I posted it on Twitter after, and it exposed the entire narrative of what the media does.
Oh,
and then I also had a video of them.
Work. You're doing such good work.
Oh yeah. It was good, man. And then there was another shot where, like, the media, it's a big hill there. So all of the counter protesters were over here, about 10 of them. And then everybody was on the other side of the hill. So what the media did was they went on this side of the hill towards the bottom, and they shot their camera up at an angle. So it got like 75% of the Pride counter protesters. And then it got just this little faint background of the 1,500 people that were there, for our cause, parental rights. So, the newspaper article is 10 of them, and then like 5 or 6 of us in the background, where really, I have the videos of where they were outnumbered like 100 to 1.
That's crazy.
But the tricks.
I know in Vancouver, it was, I want to say it was like half and half, but then I got into the march, and the amount of people was unbelievable. And then it got to the end where there was a stage, and it was this giant crowd. I felt like I was at a concert. There was that many people. Yep. But it was both sides. And I want to say 50-50, but I think there may have been more on the parent side. But all they effectively did was make it look like a bigger showing, which is kind of ironic.
Right.
It's kind of ironic in the end, because on the side of the parents, there was these big pride flags, the original, just a rainbow flag, and it was the group Gays Against Groomers. And I got an interview with one of the leaders there. I can't show the video yet until because he opens up a book and there's all the stuff that they've been showing to children. Yeah. I can't show it on YouTube. I can't show that on YouTube. It would be against terms of service. It is inappropriate. So how is it appropriate for children? That's the thing that really gets me. But nonetheless, I'll blur that out and I'll show it at some point on the channel.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how that works, isn't it, Clyde? Because I'll note to you that my Twitter became really shadow banned. It's pretty bad now, but at one point I realized it's because what was happening is I was going out and I was documenting some of the prawn that we've seen in the community. And, I put it on the internet because I thought it was important for parents and people like you and I to see and get out there. However, I realized what happens is I put that on the internet, and then the left reports it. Even though it's their work and what they represent, they report it, and then it looks like, I'm the bad guy who's posting that on the internet.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah, you're the bad guy who's posting the CP or whatever, because it's
yeah.
it's egregious. It's unbelievable. Now, let's get into how you got in trouble. You got into trouble because well, they did that secret meeting, super secret union meeting to organize this counter protest against parents who are upset with their children being shown this stuff. And it leaked. It leaked for one. It got out, and everybody found out that and I'm not sure that it wasn't them that leaked it, because more people found out about the counter protest because of the leak. So I don't know if maybe more people ended up attending because of that. Definitely less people attended because of it. Like, less people attended on the parents' side for this. Now, that being said, you found out who every single person on that was and published it. Now, that gets you in a lot of trouble. Now, mind you weren't doxing them. Now, doxing is a tactic that Antifa uses. They like to find people's home addresses, find out where they work, give the address where they work, the phone numbers to where they work, and organize harassment campaigns. Now, these are officials in official capacity working for the unions, and you plugged their name and their official capacity, and that's what you were showcasing.
Yeah, and the reason that I was showcasing that, Clyde, is because I think if these people are going to come out and try and get in the way of parents, that I think parents should be able to know who they are and where they can contact them at their union. That was my purpose behind that, because, if you're going to get in the way of my parenting and you're a union rep, well, I want to be able to email you and tell you that I don't approve of you telling me how to parent my child. And that was my intention. And I know I did have several people thank me who said, we did reach out to that member and let them know how we feel, about what they're doing. They didn't receive a message back, but, at least they were able to do that.
Well, that's fair. But yeah, of course, like, these people are encouraging, harassment campaigns, hatred. I mean, this is where the hatred is. I mean, you just look at the vitriol behind these people. And I know there are some people on the other side, and they're bad actors on both sides. Always, there always will be. There's always going to be that element to either side of any political conflict or protest, that kind of thing. But I'm talking about the vast majority, the vitriol that's coming from them. It feels a lot like, that moment, the 3 minutes of hate or whatever from 1984, that whole concept of, let's villainize these people now. They're our target. These are who we're going after. And it's all for essentially the purpose of controlling people's children.
That's exactly what it is. And I find it particularly interesting that certain people want to control people's children who don't even have children themselves. To me, that's some concerning behavior.
Yes, absolutely is. It absolutely.
And the thing is if these people will come out and they're comfortable championing this the way they are and using physical violence against parents, what else is going on in those classrooms is a question that I have.
Well, and that's the very concerning thing. And I'm a parent, and if I hear about any of that kind of activity, my kids are not going back. Like, that's just not happening. And I mean, we work so hard, we've pushed so hard, and we're a civilized world. We're the civilized world. That's where we claim to be anyway. And we've worked so hard for safety in our communities, and in this case, in the name of safety, we're introducing the possibility for predatory behavior on our most vulnerable people, our children, and then we're telling the people who have these children that they need to step out of the way, and they shouldn't have any choice in this matter.
Right. Yeah. It's wild. I there's somebody, a friend of mine's student is in grade 1, and they had to learn all about their teacher's partner the other day. And it's like, why do people even need to know, like little kids need to know about, who you, sleep next to you and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand I don't get what that has to do with the grade 1 curriculum. Like, I don't get it,
Well, it has
and
nothing to do with
and a
it,
lot of
absolutely. And the thing is,
no,
you don't need to know that stuff. I didn't know the spouses of my teachers growing up. It was never a thing. Yeah, of course, if they went to an event and then they had their wife there or husband or whatever, that's a thing. And if they happen to be gay or whatever, that's a thing too. Whatever, deal with it. Like the fact of the matter is, gay people exist and they might be teachers. Whatever. There's nothing wrong with that.
fine.
There's no crime there. There's no thing. But talking about sexuality to a child is not right. So that's totally the difference. But the thing is, the former is what's being accused of people, and the latter is what's actually is happening in the schools, and this is what people are objecting to, for sure. And I'm gonna just hit some of these super chats here before we get moving on.
Yeah, let's go get them.
Holy cow, rolling in like crazy today. Jason Abbey saying, with $5 super chat, I meant Clyde for meet and greet. All 3 questions were for Clyde. Sorry, loved your answers though. Oh man, that's mean. That's mean. Yeah, if I would do a meet and greet for sure, absolutely. And just for that, my next meet and greet will be with Rob. No, I'm doing a meet and greet actually in Vancouver next week on Wednesday. I'll be the Conservatives are holding a thing. They have a what is it, a drink night at the Legion on Hastings. So if you're privy to that, or you're keen on that, I'll be doing a meet and greet for that. So go hit that up. That's on Wednesday night, I think at 6:30 at the Legion. So I'll be there. They asked me to come out and do a speech. I don't know if they're gonna be happy with my stuff that I had to say about Pierre Poilievre this week, but whatever. I'm still gonna go, and I still like Pierre. I just think that was a bad move, and I voiced my opinion on that. A bad move's a bad move. Vesper Design with a $5 super chat. Rob is not a fascist. He's just a fashionista, especially with those 80s Blade Runner glasses he wears on X. All love, with a big Lamau on there. And I got to show this. These are the glasses he's talking about right there. That's a good look, man. That's a good look. I love it. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. But that.
The Pit Vipers, yeah.
Those are awesome. I'm definitely into that. Jason Abbey with another $10 super chat. Clyde, when do you believe Pierre is honest about looking out for us Canadians? I hope so. To love TNT, would you have Wyatt on again? Yeah, I'd have Wyatt on again. 3, will you ever run as a MP or a municipal position? Nope, not likely. Not gonna happen. Steve Hyde with a $5 super chat. When I was 4, I used to dress up in my grandmother's clothes because it was funny. Thank God I didn't have mental parents, or sorry, millennial parents. Mental, same thing. That's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I grew up with TV shows where it was funny that the comedian would dress up like a woman or an elderly woman, stuff like that. And never ever once crossed my mind that wasn't just being funny. Eat Me with a $5 super chat says how to feel special, in quotes, in these dystopian times. Become Karens for self-gratification, or be real and speak the truth and hold the line. Greetings, Rob. Oh, awesome. Jason Abbey with a $5 super chat. So, show the interview as a premiere live stream. Obviously edited. Us adults can't handle that. What an 8-year-old is exposed to. Yeah, well, I think I'll probably put this out as just another regular video later on. I've been slacking on some of that. Sorry, I keep meaning to grab these conversations and whack it on the channel as its own separate video. And of course, everyone get out and follow Rob on all the socials. I'm showing the Instagram right here, where it's the Rob Primo on Instagram. I don't think you need an @ mark for that, but just go over there and follow. Zesty Mordant with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Pierre just called out Osama bin Laden for his role in 9/11. So all you PPC shills can simmer down. That's funny. That's actually really funny. Oh, man. Yeah, he finally got around to it. Oh, that Osama bin Laden character, man. I'm glad Pierre finally, I didn't know what his stance was on that issue. I really had no idea. That's really funny.
Oh.
Yeah, people. I got called a PPC shill from a lot of people in the past day. I guess they don't follow my content. I'm not accusing that of Zesty Morden, but people on Twitter were calling me a PPC shill, and I'm like, man, you can disagree with the leader of the party that you're supporting at the moment. You can disagree. This is the vibrancy of democracy is actually having these conversations and being in disagreement and helping to sway opinions. That's the way it goes.
Yes, that's what I was just going to get to, Clyde. I was going to say is, even if you have a disagreement, I think it's healthy to put pressure on what you think should be, change that should be reflected, because we have seen Pierre change quite a bit lately, and I personally believe it's because of the cultural change and what he's seeing, what a lot of people want. And, I know he's being pretty quiet right now on this whole parental thing, but I don't know, man. Like, he's up pretty good in the polls, so I don't agree with it, but maybe he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, maybe his political strategy is working for him, since he's up quite a bit in the polls, and maybe that's why he's there. We'll have to see. I guess only time will tell, right?
My opinion on Pierre and some of his activity, whether it comes to like announcements or social media, things like that, I think there's two Pierres. There's the knee-jerk reaction Pierre that when he's questioned by media that's hostile towards him, or other politicians put him on the spot, he performs excellent, and he always has a principled position, and he nails it, and he's really good. He's a really good public speaker. He's fantastic. And then there's the other Pierre that's handled by a media team, and all of the stuff gets funneled and filtered through them, and it's a much less appealing Pierre Poilievre, in my opinion, than the actual guy and how he responds to situations. So that's my opinion. I hope he ends up becoming a good PM. He is going to be the next PM. I mean, that's a shoe-in. It's looking that way.
It's looking pretty obvious, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Rob, I want to thank you for joining this live stream. We've been at it for about an hour. I usually only do these live streams for about 2 hours, and we've been going for 2:17 now. So wow.
All right.
What we do usually afterwards is I'll go hang out in the Discord server. If anybody's interested in that, link is always in the description down below. I have a few things that I want to chat with Rob privately about before we go in there. So if you don't see me jumping in there right away, this is what I'm doing. I will be in there soon. So hit that up. Jason Abbey with a last minute super chat, just throwing that one in there. Rob, what is that one video on your channel? Good to see. 2, can you tell us more about being an activist? Well, we'll have to tune in next time, or go check out his Twitter and his Instagram, and then soon to come his YouTube. But yeah, just plug away right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, I'll jump on with Clyde anytime. So we talked about getting together a little more often, so we'll just jump on here. But was it my handles that someone wanted?
Yeah. What are your socials? All the different places where you can find you.
So yeah, Rob Primo 1 on Twitter. The Rob Primo 1 on X.
Sounds like you've had to make a few accounts before.
I have, yeah. The Rob Primo on Twitter, or no, on Instagram is The Rob Primo. YouTube is The Rob Primo. I'm also on Rumble as The Rob Primo as well. So pretty much The Rob Primo on anything other than X. It's The Rob Primo 1. but yeah, I'd love to connect with your audience. You guys are great people and
Absolutely.
always engage in a great conversation. So yeah, give me a follow. I'd love that. And we'll see you on Clyde's next stream, the next time I'm invited on.
We got Queenie, Queenie on, I don't know how to pronounce the rest of it. Queenie on YouTube with a super chat, $5. Wondering if you know we are on the move to Ottawa and need everyone to stand up. It's go time, guys. I don't know. I don't know that you're on the move to Ottawa, but yes, we all do need to stand up. I'm glad that people are standing up. This week was fantastic. Wednesday was great. Yesterday, a good turnout at the other event that you were covering. If you want to see more footage of that, go to X and follow the Rob Primo. Get to Instagram. You'll see more footage there as well. Jason Abbey with another $2 super chat saying good night to everybody. Good night, Clyde. Good night, Rob. And good night to everyone here, because we're just going to keep going if I don't end the stream. So everybody, as always, keep on trucking.